Like, why would you?
Why would you think that? Because I don't play World of Warcraft.
Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker.
Final Fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy is an MMO?
What did he say?
Yeah, it's that first day of first grade. That cute girl, your third day. That backpack, that snapback you've had since the third grade. The first time you got laid, the worst time you got played. It hurt, but you're okay. You learned from your mistakes. Your friends back in high school, we thought we were so cool. We'd steal Jack, my dad's stash, and drink the whole night through. The first time you first moved, that's new job, a new roof, new student, made new friends, a new start, a new you. I guess things could be worse. Dad's in sales and my mom is a nurse. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome
What's
back
up?
to OtakuWarz.
Whoop,
I'm
whoop.
Mike Sensei, and this is Ding Dong Ding Along.
That is not my name, and
oh,
you
my
know
bad.
it.
Who are you?
I'm Marquando, and you know it.
And we're here to bring you another episode of OtakuWarz. A little bit of gaming news, a little bit of anime news,
And some discussion.
war session to be more specific. Punk.
Let's go.
All right. You want to take it off, or you want me to take it off?
I think you should take it off.
Well, you want me to take off, you pervert. All right. Obviously, from the gaming world, I don't have to be a very. There wasn't a lot of news, to be frank, but that's because, as a lot of gamers know, Elden Ring came out, and even though I personally suck at Souls-like games, this game looks good. And I can see why people are interested in it. I mean, it was produced and made by a good company, the same company that makes the Souls games. George R.R. Martin helped with the story a little bit. I think he made the world before it got destroyed.
I think the only time I played that game was like at your old apartment, I think.
Dark Souls, right?
Yeah. I think that was the only time, and I don't think I really got into it that much.
I think I remember that. I think that was actually Demon Souls, which is the same.
Same franchise?
Yeah, because somebody let me borrow it. Whoa, that's crazy. Other than that, I played a little bit of Bloodborne, which I was decent at, and then got overconfident, and then Dark Souls 3 came out. Here's my story about Dark Souls 3. I bought it. He's like, you ready to hate your life? That's the guy at GameStop. Told me, are you ready to hate your life? And I'm like, yeah, I know, I heard these are hard. I was like, but I'm going to try it. I'm not like the person to typically break my controller when I get mad. I just shut the game off and stuff. And this isn't ending with me breaking my controller or anything, but...
Well, good.
Ends worse, actually.
Controller insurance doesn't exist.
I came home. I let the game download. I played for 2 hours. Could not get past the first part. Just got smashed. So I went to go train. Got all these souls. Went to go back to the camp to level up. And I died. And now when you die, you can go pick up your souls. But if you die again before you pick up the souls, you lose them. So you lose all that experience and time you put. And I forgot this guy was behind the corner. And I walked, and he jumped me and got me. And I lost all those souls. I leaned back. I took my deep breath. I put the controller down and did not miss a beat. Hit the eject button. Put the disc back in the case. Drove back to GameStop. And said, I'm going to return this.
Was this the same day?
Oh, yeah. 4 hours later, the guy looked at me and he's like, totally get it, man.
That reminds me of playing Lion King back in the day. When, like...
The original Dark Souls.
Right? I could not get past that first level. The very first level is, like, you playing the section where what's the song called? I just can't wait to be king. It's that part.
Yeah.
And you're just riding on this ostrich going up and down these trees, and it's just, I can never get past it. It was so hard.
I feel like,
and that's the very first level.
I feel like some of the Super Nintendo games in general were like Dark Souls. Because, I mean, if you play, I think one of the Star Wars games, or if not all of them, I could not beat the first level, dude.
I feel like...
I was just like, geez.
I definitely feel like game difficulty in general has gone down through the years.
And thanks to id Software, I think that's the name of the company. Or maybe it's just software. But anyways, the people who make Dark Souls and bringing back the genre, and actually Dark Souls being so hard made its own genre. That's why you hear games being described as Souls-like now because it's a genre.
Mm.
But difficulty's back, and let me tell you, I miss my casual gaming because sometimes, man, that's my story. But I do have a couple things about Elden Ring, besides obviously that it released. And Patches the Bald Trickster. People who play will know what I'm talking about, but he's back. He's like a character that's been through all of the games that they've made and different variations, and he's exactly what he says. He's like a help to you, but not at first. He's a pain in your ass at first through different like tricks and stuff. So people will be happy to know that Patches will return in this game. And also, what I thought was kind of cool is Bandai Namco. They when the game's only been out since yesterday. Actually, I think the game came out today, but maybe people on PC could play a day early because yesterday
That would make sense.
I actually watched my brother and his friend streamed it as they were playing it live as it went, and like the world looks really cool. But I watched them play for 3 hours, and they roamed, and there was this like one guy with a spear and shield that they just could not beat. Every time they came across him, he just wiped the floor with them for 3 hours. And they were getting so mad. And let me tell you, when you watch somebody else get mad at the game, it's funny. When you're playing, it's
not funny.
But
it's just not fun in general.
That's true. There was some performance issues that happened with like the frame rates and stuff when it came out.
Oh no.
Last night. Nothing like game breaking or anything, but they already released a patch to fix it, and Bandai Namco, which is fast for a responsive a company, made the patch, and they actually apologized. They said if anybody experienced any of this, we would like to do a formal apology, which usually they don't do. Places like Bethesda, they're like, sucker, you bought a game. We got the money.
Right?
I think that's it for my Elden Ring. If you guys are out there, I know that many people have probably seen the TikTok where it goes, honey, you know that game that I've been waiting for? Yes, it's out, and you will not see me for a month. Well,
That's
Elden Ring's
this game.
Out. Enjoy.
Alright, so this isn't really too much of news, but the new Dragon Ball movie is coming, and it's got some trailers. They just released a promo
Dragon
art.
Ball or Dragon Ball Super?
Well, Dragon Ball Super,
All right.
because that's the thing.
First, I thought they were going back to Dragon Ball. You know?
No.
Remake
It's still Dragon Ball Super. It's a brand new Dragon Ball Super movie, and they released a promo art I think like a couple days ago. And basically, what it reveals is basically teenage Trunks and Goten, and this isn't really too much news because this was kind of revealed like a while ago. But it's just like something I thought was cool in general. The promo art shows them doing the fusion dance, so it is possible we could see teenage Gotenks in the movie as well.
Okay, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because Gotenks is my favorite character in the whole
Have we
entire
ever
Dragon Ball
seen
world.
a teenage Goten before?
A teenage? Yes, we have. We see teenage Goten and Trunks at the end of Z. That's when we see them. Remember, Goku and Vegeta are forcing them to fight in the tournament.
Oh, with Oob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I was like, oh, well, I remember seeing Teenage Trunks, obviously. But
Yeah, I mean, everyone remembers seeing teenage
do
Trunks.
we know who the bad guy's gonna be at all?
Ooh, I don't know. It seems like it's like some sort of gang or something. But I don't know for sure who the bad guy is. But it is rumored that Brawly is going to be in it. I don't know if it's confirmed though. I didn't see the whole entire promo art of it, but that is like some sort of rumor. Don't know if it's officially
Think
confirmed
he's
or
gonna
not.
be a hero or a villain?
I think he'll be a hero.
I was thinking that too, which then made me think that the bad guys might actually be pretty powerful.
Yeah,
When you
'cause-
said gang, I was thinking Red Ribbon Army. I'm like, oh, so it's gonna be like a goofy
No, not Red Ribbon Army. Goku beat them as a kid. They don't stand a chance against them now.
Now we're the Red Ribbon Gang.
But also with the promo art, Trunks and Goten actually do the fusion dance wrong. Their fingers aren't fully synced up together. It's supposed to be like this, but it's actually like this. So it's possible we could see Gotenks, but at the same time, it's possible that the fusion dance will be messed up.
Which means you'll still see him. You'll
You'll
just see him
not
either
just
anorexic
yeah,
or fat.
And we haven't seen like teen Gotenks before. and we'll be right back.
Oh, you didn't need to mute. She's just going to the room. You might. Oh.
Oh, it's okay. That was the wrong screen, anyways.
Sorry about that brief interruption.
Where was I? Oh yeah. Basic. We've seen like an adult version of Gotenks before. Have you seen like the Dragon Ball Superheroes video game or anime? You do see them in there. But
Is
yeah,
that the one where you get the cards and
yep.
they turn into real people and fight?
Yeah,
I wasted so much money on that game.
Really?
I bought it for $60 when it came out.
Oh yeah.
And I played it and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought I was getting. So yeah, that one I couldn't return. I bought it digitally. So the GameStop guy who laughed at me about the Souls didn't get to laugh at me for that one. All right, back to me.
Back to you.
This one's going to be short, and I probably should have said this first because now Elden Ring is going to overshadow this, but also this week, Destiny 2, the expansion Witch's Queen came out, and this is technically, I guess, released now that they're with Sony, under Sony, but I believe that this is the expansion that was made from the ground up, with Bungie fully being independent. The last one might have been 2, but I think they started it still under Activision's company, and then just finished it when they were away from them. If you remember, I told you that whole complex story about how all these people were buying each other and leaving each other.
Yep.
But Destiny 2 came out with Witch's Queen, and I was excited for it. I haven't got to play it yet, but I know I saw somebody say there's this huge twist at the end. It's not like going and killing the Witch Queen like all the other ones are, where you get the expansion and there's the bad guy and you just go up to the bad guy through like missions, and then at the end you kill the bad guy.
Basically basic game.
So I'm curious to see what the twist is. Some of the people may already know what it is, obviously, because they probably played it day one, but small little bit. Should have said that before Elden Ring.
Elden Ring probably should have been your last piece of news. Oh my gosh. So this next piece of news I have was...
Wait, you got 3 points?
I do have 3 points.
I actually have 4 points.
You have 4?
So,
whoa!
I probably should do the next one. The next one I wrote down to be a little goof for these guys, but this one I especially put down just for you.
All right, take it over.
All right, so have you ever heard of the game franchise Doom?
Yes, I have.
All right.
Yes, I have.
So Doom 2, they made a mod for Where You're SpongeBob. Yep, the SpongeBob Doom 2 mod.
No.
And it's all themed in Bikini Bottom.
No.
Yep. So if you want to grab your jelly gun and go fight some jellyfish, I recommend you play the SpongeBob Doom.
Get out of town.
Oh yeah. If we weren't live right now, it would take up some time. I would show you the picture.
So this is this like an apocalyptic version of Bikini Bottom, or is it just?
From what I saw, it looked pretty normal. I'll show you after the stream.
Okay.
For the people who are curious about it, we'll put a link up in the stream.
That's crazy. I would not have expected that. That actually reminds me. I read this article that Call of Duty put the Armor Titan in.
Yeah, they have Attack and Titan on it.
Yeah, I think they've done it. I think they've done it before, but they're doing it again now.
I like crossovers. I like when they
crossovers
do that
are
stuff.
great.
It used to be like I got mad because all the crossovers seemed like the anime ones seemed to go to Fortnite. I'm like, I don't want to play with a bunch of 6-year-olds on Fortnite.
There's I think like so Uncharted put Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Fortnite, I think.
Yeah.
But they also put Tom Holland's Uncharted in Fortnite, and there's like this TikTok of like them both meeting, and it was absolutely hilarious.
All right, now you can take it away.
All right, so this piece of news confused me for a bit. I had to do some research on this one. So there's this game, basically this whole entire franchise called and I'm probably like butchering this. It's called Grisaia. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but this one specifically, Grisaia.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin in pronouncing that.
All right.
But yeah, this one is specifically in a series called Phantom Trigger, and I don't even know how it started at first. I was like, okay, clearly...
I've heard of Phantom Trigger.
I feel like I've heard of it. It's probably like subconsciously, though. But, like, the thing that...
I'm thinking of Sword Art Online.
Is there one called Phantom Trigger?
I think there's something in the Gun Gale arc that they say Phantom Trigger.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
Or maybe it's just something that popped up when you said it, and then my brain's trying to connect it to.
Maybe. But basically, this is like a whole entire franchise that's super popular. I never really heard of it until now. And it took me so long to figure out, okay, I know this is like a game franchise that has this and this and this. What's Phantom Trigger? What's that all about? And it took me a while to look it up and to realize it was a game because I looked at Wikipedia. It wouldn't tell me if it was a game. I looked at the website. I couldn't even tell it was a game. And then I looked down and I was like, oh, okay. It looked at like stuff about the product. I'm like, oh, okay, it's talking about like Intel Core processor and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's gotta be a game. But for some reason, my brain's like, hey, you're still not sure. So I'm like, I'm still not sure. So I look it up. So I go back and I like look it up on Google and I just look up like Phantom Trigger itself and there it is, video game. Because I was super confused when they started talking about volumes. I'm like, when a game's released, do they say volumes? Because I know manga and comic books, they say volumes. So I was like, is this like the comic book version or something like that?
Huh.
But yeah, the volumes were games, but basically Phantom Trigger was made into like an anime series a long time ago that you could see in theaters in a total, I think, of 8 episodes. Not too sure. But basically, Biberi Animation, who also did the original game animations as well, plus the sequels, is producing an anime TV series.
I hope it's good. I've seen some game to anime adaptations before, and they can be alright, but they're not like great. Like
No, not usually.
I can't think of the title of the one offhand, but God Eater. Yeah, I watched a God Eater anime, and the God Eater is a series of 3 games.
I remember God Eater.
And it was an alright anime. It was just slow.
Yeah, oh gosh. Was it like an anime where this guy had like a special weapon or something, like a special sword? Yeah, I don't think I got into that either, and I didn't even play the games.
Yeah. Like I wanted to, it was just like you could tell that there was something missing or odd about it.
Yeah. I never got into God Eater. But the TV series will follow the 2019 and 2020 feature films.
So I'm sure there's somebody out there who's excited about that.
I'm sure there is. If you're like a fan of the game, of the franchise, there you go.
All right. You have one more point left?
I do have one more point left.
Is it a big one?
It's pretty big in my eyes.
It might be big in other people's eyes. My last one's not really big, but it's long. So I didn't know if you wanted to take the last point.
All right, why don't I take the last point? Because mine, I think, will be pretty short.
All
right. So, have you ever heard of an anime called Classroom of the Elite?
Yes. I have not watched it, though.
Okay, I did watch it. I was a big fan of it. I really liked it. I was like, whoa, this is dope. I forget what it's about because it's been a while.
I imagine it's probably about a classroom full of elites.
Well, that's the thing. It's about, from what I can remember, it's basically about this high school, and you want to be like top in the class, basically. And there's this main character that wants to be top of the class, and this other main character who's like super smart, and he like tries to help her get to there. And I think how it is like you basically live at the school, and like how much your ranking is, like the more money you get and stuff. But there was never a second season. Don't know why, but there wasn't. And I was sad that there wasn't. Marcus was sad that there wasn't a second season because he really wanted a second season.
Are you going to tell me they're making a second season?
They're making a second season after 5 years. 5 years! I had to wait for a second season. And I'm probably going to have to wait like a little bit longer because there's no trailer or anything yet.
I feel like it's been 5 years that I've been waiting for the second season of Shield Hero. How dare them do this to us?
You know what anime I wish they would get for a second season for is what's that anime about that where this kid gets framed for murdering his whole entire class basically, and they got like blood
we're
powers.
Definitely thinking of the same anime because I was just gonna ask you after what you said you were gonna hope for. I was gonna say the anime, but I couldn't remember the title of it.
I can't remember it either.
It played on
Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah,
Dead Man Wonderland. I wish that would get another season.
And they ended it so like cliffhanging. Too.
Yeah, they did. But the people who directed season 1 was Seiji Kisi, who did Assassination Classroom and Danganronpa End of Hope's Peak High, and then also Haruyuki Hashimoto, who did Code Geass. They both directed it. But it is unknown if they will return.
I need to watch this anime as soon as we're done.
I liked it a lot.
Those are all like top ranking animes.
Yeah.
You just said that I really like.
I don't think you were a fan of Danganronpa End of Hope Peaks High. I know you liked the original one.
Oh, was that the last season?
But kinda. It was basically split into 2 parts. So like basically there was End of Hope Peaks High, and then there was like the Future arc, and then after that they kind of intersect together into the last episode, which is like the Hope arc.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think what got me was I felt like I was missing a section because they never really made Danganronpa 2. They just went from Danganronpa 1 to Danganronpa 3.
Gotcha.
But you just proved me wrong with something I said earlier now. That was a video game that got...
That was a video game, and it was really good.
All right. Is that all set for you?
That is all set for me.
All right, my last piece of gaming news is actually... You came at me last week with some anime awards, and I'm going to come back at you this week with some gaming awards.
Oh, snap.
It was the 25th annual DICE, and the game of the year... I'm not going to say it yet. That will be last. But I will tell you who was in the running. Deathloop, which is it was kind of like a roguelike game, which means like you die, you learn a little from your run, you die. And then you use what you got on your run and you upgrade a little and then you go at it again. It's like that's what a roguelike is.
Okay.
And Inscription, which I actually don't think I've heard of before, so I can't tell you much about that. But It Takes Two, which is kind of like indie game, and I can't remember if it was multiplayer or not, but I know that there was 2 main characters. It was kind of like a lighthearted, like I can't really describe it because I haven't played it, but I know of it. Then there's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Okay.
And then Returnal, which Returnal came out around the same time Deathloop did, and that's also a really highly acclaimed...
Returnal sounds dope.
Yeah, it's also a roguelike. It's a roguelike that takes place in space, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, that one I wanted to play, but right now it's, I think, like 50 or 60
I just like that name, Returnal.
Yeah, isn't it sweet?
Yeah.
It kind of fits the roguelike thing because, like, you return.
Yeah.
All right, so instead of listing all the categories and all the people who ran for them, I'm just going to run through who won what award, and then I'll end with who won the game of the year.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so the Outstanding Achievement in Animation award was given to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Aw, snap.
Which, on that part, I found really odd that the people who were eligible to get the award, Call of Duty Vanguard was in there, because nobody likes that game.
That's so weird.
Yeah, they talked about making a Call of Duty release earlier this year than they ever have before because of how bad Vanguard was.
You think Call of Duty is dying a little bit?
I would think, but now that they released that they're going to make a Modern Warfare 2 is their next thing, I think they're going to bring
that's
back
right.
back into it. All right, next category. Outstanding Achievement in Character is Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
So they must have some good character
Yeah.
development in that.
I remember. Oh, was Resident Evil a game first?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that might be a video game movie that I actually like.
The original?
Well, I don't remember. I remember my dad took me to see it.
Oh,
But I don't remember which one it was, but I remember enjoying it.
I think it's a good movie, but I bet you it was better when it came out.
Probably.
It does not hold up. I watched it recently, like last year, in the CGI, and it is so bad.
Oh no!
Like, it's so bad that it looks like. How do I describe it? It looks like put you here, and then just put a picture of Mickey Mouse right here. It was like bad CGI. Like, you could tell it was just laid over top of the film, and it just didn't fit. Like, you remember being in like high school animation class?
Yep.
And remember how bad our animations looked?
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's what it looked like.
That's not good.
Anyways, I digress, as you would say. Outstanding achievement in original music composition goes to Returnal. So
Okay.
Returnal must have some good music,
Yeah.
which I didn't know about. Some of these are surprises to me. Even though I'm a gamer, I mean, I only have so much time. I can't play every game. I try, though. All right. Outstanding achievement in audio design, which I'm not so sure what the difference between audio design and original music composition is.
Wait, what's the category? Audio design?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is also Returnal, though. So they must just have some really good music.
I never heard of a category like that.
Outstanding achievement in story. Oh, I didn't actually look at this winner, but I agree so wholeheartedly. This game, I told you that you need to play. And
Oh, so we talked about this game
yeah,
before.
I put so much recommendation. I don't think I did it on the show, but I've told you personally.
Okay.
That you need to play this game
That-
because it was
this
so
is-
good.
Okay.
And I told you that
Let's see if I remember.
in this genre of games, they never really appealed to me, but now they appeal to me because of this game. Do you know what game I'm talking about?
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
How did I not get that? You've been talking about it all week.
Yeah.
You've been talking about it the past 3 weeks. Literally every time we talk about video games, he's like, dude, you gotta play Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, okay, one day I'm gonna play Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dude, it's so good. And the thing is, the game is good and like it's growing head because of word of mouth. Because people didn't like the way it looked in like the trailers and stuff. So when it first came out, and they just got burned by Avengers, there wasn't a lot of sales. Even Square Enix said that when it came out, there wasn't a lot of sales. Not like what they would have hoped. But through sales and stuff, they've gotten people to try it, and by word of mouth, apparently they've gotten an award.
Nice.
But I'm glad, because if nobody saw that game, it would be really sad, because it is such a good game. Anyways, on to the next. Outstanding technical achievement, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which I haven't played this game yet, but I have a buddy who has, and I know exactly what they're talking about here. They're talking about things that like you haven't seen yet in a game, especially with like the new like powerhouse hardware they have and everything.
Okay.
So he was telling me that typically you played a Ratchet and Clank game before.
I have, yes.
So you know when you go to a different planet or something, you get into a load screen.
Yep.
Well, he would go jump onto a different planet or something through a portal, and he was just there, no load screen, not even like a quick second, just instantly there.
So basically
no
he
load
would
screen.
like he would open up a portal.
Yeah.
And he was just there.
Yeah, and he said he could look through portals and he could see the worlds through each portal, and you could like jump into them and just be there instantly. He said like that it's something you can't really comprehend until you play, and he said that he had to pause the game for a second and take a breath, because he's like, I played back since Dragon Ball Z like Budokai, when you had to be Master Roshi and shoot him across the screen during the load screen, and he's like, this is just groundbreaking to me.
Man,
But that has to be what they're talking about when they say technical achievement.
It has to be something like that, yeah. But like even so, like, I mean, there are some things that like a loading screen is good for. Like for example, like in Spider-Man, like you have like tips and stuff like that. Like that's one reason why I like load screens, because they give you some helpful tips in there. Also, it's probably good for your hardware too. Maybe, I'm not too sure. But
I guess we don't really know. I mean, I like shorter load screens. I don't need the tips anyways. I read them, but they're usually things I've already found out or already known by the time I read them.
But just like able to get rid of the load screen in general. I mean, I don't know how anyone else feels about load screens. I know most people don't like them in general, especially when they take a long time. But that is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can do that now, especially in a simple concept, just like Ratchet and Clank, I feel like future games should be able to do it as well.
Yeah, well, they're getting shorter and shorter. And games are looking realer and realer.
Yeah, I know.
Which is cool.
Now
that I think about it, I think this is like the third award so far that Ratchet and Clank has won on this list that I've been going down.
Oh, they won best animation?
Returnal has won twice, and Ratchet and Clank has won 3 times. They won achievement in animation, achievement in art design, and
technical. Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to stylized, we're getting better and better. But when it comes to actual real humans, I feel like we're kind of taking a step back.
Some games, because I feel like they rush them out. Because there's some games where I'm like, is that the same block texture hair from a PS2?
Yeah, I remember. I forget. I don't know what game it was, but I was looking at this game and I was just looking at its design and stuff. I was like, this doesn't look good.
All right, next category: action game of the year. Any guesses?
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I know that probably because I asked you, it probably made you go straight to that. It's actually Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite.
Which actually, if I would have guessed, that probably would have been my first guess, if not second, because people love their Halo.
People love Halo.
Adventure game of the year.
It's a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you tempted to play it yet?
Listen, you bought me a whole entire pack of Kingdom Hearts, and I still haven't taken it out of the package
don't
yet.
tell them that. There's somebody out there upset that you have not played Kingdom Hearts.
No. I have played Kingdom. I have played Kingdom Hearts. You know that.
That's even worse that you played and gave up. All right. Family game of the year. Can you guess from the list so far who won this category?
Game of the year?
Family game of the year.
Oh, so there are different games of the years then.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's an overall game of the year.
Okay.
This is just a subcategory.
I'm gonna guess Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
All right.
Fighting game of the year.
Fighting game of the year. Is it Halo?
Nope. Guilty Gear Strive.
Gear Strive.
Which good for Guilty Gear. I know they've been making games, I swear, since PS2.
Does Guilty Gear... Oh, so Guilty Gear is a whole entire franchise.
Yeah.
I know they have a couple
They're
games.
like the fighting game that kind of looks like anime characters just going at it all the time that you've probably seen on the... Yeah. All right. Racing game of the year? I don't know if you know much about racing games, but this one always wins racing games of the year when they come out. So.
Okay, if I had to take a guess, is it Need for Speed?
Close. Those ones cause a lot of controversy because sometimes they suck and sometimes they're good. It's Forza.
Oh, Forza, yeah.
Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, I really don't play racing games ever, actually. My little brother plays them a lot. He's playing Need for Speed, I think Heat right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he freaking loves that game. He plays it all the time.
Actually, I told myself I was never going to get another Need for Speed game, and I didn't for years. But then Mitch talked me into getting Need for Speed Heat, and he was right. That's a pretty damn good game. I still stopped playing it,
dude,
but that's
people are making their own design cars now. I don't know how long the game's been out, but basically they're he'll just look up these cars
designs and you can wrap your car in them.
Yeah, the thing is they're design concepts or how you design cars isn't groundbreaking or anything. So how you see these awesome design cars that people are making, it's incredible how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it.
Oh, I've seen a couple. I was like, man, I thought I was good at designing cars on this game, but I'm gonna retire now and just use yours. Role playing game of the year. If it would have said MMO, I would have gotten this one. But role playing, I would have been thinking of single player role players.
Okay.
So I just gave you a hint to MMO. Any guess?
I don't know much about MMOs. Oh wait, it's not World of Warcraft, is it?
No, but that would have been a good guess. But people hated the expansion that just came out for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so somebody at home's like, why would you?
Why would you think that? It's because I don't play World of Warcraft.
Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker.
Final Fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy is an MMO?
Yeah, they have Final Fantasy 14. It's been an MMO for 8 years.
Whoa, I didn't even know that.
But yeah, they had their latest expansion come out called Endwalker, and since the game came out, I think 8-10 years ago, this is wrapping up the story. Not wrapping up the game, wrapping up the story that's been continued since this point, and a lot of people were geared up for this. Like, a lot of people were excited. Even I was actually excited, but I'm not caught up on that game. It's just I'm a huge Final Fantasy person. I love Final Fantasy because when I was playing PS2 and when I was playing PS3, Square Enix, when they made a Final Fantasy or even Kingdom Hearts, their graphics at the time were groundbreaking, blew up any other game out of the water. They had hair that would move and stuff. Now it probably doesn't look that good compared to this stuff, but I was always impressed with it. And then they had good story to go on top of it, so I always felt like they put time into their games. All right, sports game of the year. Whoa. I would have not have guessed that, actually. I would have guessed, like, Madden or NBA, which I just eliminated, too. You got to guess?
Wait, it's not Madden or NBA?
No.
Wii Sports.
That, honestly, is just as surprising as who won, that I think. Mario Golf. Super Rush.
Mario Golf?
Won sports game of the year.
Whoa.
Strategy and simulation game of the year?
Don't know.
I don't know too many of these.
No.
This one would have been one of my two guesses.
Chess.
Age of Empires. I don't play a lot of Age of Empires, but I know people love that game series. So, congratulations, Age of Empires. All right. Immersive reality technical achievement. I'm just going to tell you, Lone Echo 2 won, because I don't know many of these. I'm imagining they're talking about the most groundbreaking VR game.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Immersive reality game of the year, so the one where you lose yourself the most in a VR game, I'm guessing.
All right.
Also, Lone Echo 2, which now is making me curious. I'm probably going to look it up after the show. Outstanding achievement for independent game is a game called Unpacking, which oddly I've never heard of. Mobile game of the year, Pokemon Unite. Oh, if I knew that was a mobile game, I would probably...
Pokemon Unite, wow.
Yeah, I guess every time I think about it, I think about Switch.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer for Pokemon Unite, it looked good. Like, I didn't see any gameplay trailer or anything like that. It was just some sort of cinematic trailer that's probably not even in the game.
Yeah.
But I was like, that looks pretty cool. And I was like, okay, Pokemon Unite. Oh, it's a mobile game. Okay, see how it does, I guess.
Yeah,
it didn't really.
You can play on Switch too.
It didn't really look groundbreaking to me though.
I don't think you would have liked it. It was pretty groundbreaking because it's essentially Pokemon in a different way that you could ever play. Have you ever heard of League of Legends or Dota?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. It's a MOBA.
Okay.
Yeah. Except instead of 3 lanes like those games have, it's a circle.
Oh.
But yeah, essentially you pick a Pokemon, they have free moves. They level up as you're trying to take their towers, which they're little bases that you dunk points into.
So Pokemon basketball?
No, way more complicated.
Way more complicated. Whoa, wow. More complicated
right.
than basketball.
Online game of the year. Halo Infinite. Outstanding achievement in game design. It Takes Two, which is an indie game. That was the one I was telling you about earlier, which, by the way, I just found a picture.
For some reason...
See?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I told you. It's like an indie, lighthearted family game, I think.
So the game's called It Takes Two?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you said, the category had a tie or something.
Yeah. Outstanding achievement in game direction. Deathloop. All right. Now, after we got through all that, I'll give you a hint. One of those games also was the overall game of the year. Any guess?
What? Okay, so all the games you mentioned was game of the year.
One of them was, yeah.
One of them was. Okay, so what we got? We got Deathloop, we got Ratchet and Clank, we got It Takes Two, I'm guessing it's not like an NBA game or anything like that. We got Mario Golf.
Yeah.
I doubt it's Mario Golf. If it is,
for overall game of the year, I'd just be like, okay, I'm done.
oh gosh. I'm gonna go with Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank would have been an amazing guess. That would have been my guess, especially with all as many awards as they won. But I can't say for the first time ever, but for the first time that I've been paying attention or I've seen, indie game wins Game of the Year.
It Takes Two won it.
It Takes Two won Game of the Year through DICE Awards.
Good for them.
Yeah, I kind of want somebody to email us and tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen an indie game win. I've seen a lot of big developers usually win.
I don't even think I even heard of an indie game winning.
Yeah, I know that I've seen indie games win awards, but like Game of the Year? Well,
if it has happened before, it doesn't happen that often, does it?
right. That's what I'm thinking. And if there is other ones, I want to know what they are now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I got. So, you got anything else?
No, I have no more news.
Is it time to go to war?
Are you prepared for war?
Time for
War session.
Today's topic.
It's the new Batman movie.
Yeah, we did a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the new Uncharted movie, which we have thoughts on, but it just came out last Friday, right?
The new Uncharted?
Yeah, or was that 2 Fridays ago?
Ooh. I believe that was last Friday.
All right,
it was
so
last
I
Friday.
still want to wait one more week and give you guys a chance to see it, so we're not spoiling it for anybody. But next week we'll give our opinion and see if it matched the war session we had. But next Friday is Batman.
Next Friday is Batman.
Yeah, March 4 is next Friday, right?
Oh, you're talking about the release date?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, I thought we were talking about Uncharted next week.
No, we're going to briefly touch on Uncharted. It's not going to be another war session.
Okay.
But I wanted to give them 2 weeks so we're not like spoiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Batman coming out next week, I figured it would be a great topic to talk about what we think is going to be, like, what's going to become about the new Batman movie. And the reason I want to talk about that, I don't want to just keep on having war sessions where we're talking about if a movie is going to be good or not.
Right.
But we all know that the DCU is nothing
Like the MCU?
like the MCU.
It's because it's really not.
So I wanted to talk about this and talk about like what we think the state of the DCU is right now and if it's going to be better.
Plus, that's the thing. Is this even a part of the DCU? Of the actual universe? Like, is this...
I'm going to say
Because...
yes. And I'm going to say this right now. If nobody wants to know this part, the movie's not out, but it has been released. So if you don't want to know this, just go ahead and skip away or turn away for now. But it is said that it's going to be kind of like what Spider-Man did, and that the people who played the past Batmans are going to be in this Batman.
Oh, snap.
Because apparently the next movie after, or a couple movies after, is going to be Flashpoint.
Yeah, we got Flashpoint coming.
Which is where the universe essentially breaks and timelines get mixed.
Yeah.
So I think they're starting to mix the universes. With
Wait,
this
is
one.
Flashpoint all about timelines being mixed? Because I know, like, he goes back in time to save his mom. I think that's what the original is, anyways. And then that completely like redoes everything. Like, I don't even think Barry Allen is really the Flash anymore in that timeline. And then he has to go back. And then he has to go back in time because like Zoom came in and messed everything up or something.
See, you can speculate through the comments and comics and what we've heard, but it's gonna be so hard to tell just because DCU's not stable.
No, it's not.
Like, they don't have a direct path that you can, like MCU. You knew that Thanos was coming.
Yeah, because it was basically the whole entire arc.
Yeah, we were all anticipating it and waiting it, but like with DCU, we're like, what are you getting now?
I know we have a new Aquaman coming.
Yeah.
We have Black Adam. But yeah, like where's this thing going? Because eventually they're getting into their Thanos. Oh, what, Darkseid, right? Yeah, Darkseid.
Is it Darkseid or Darkseid? Because I've heard both.
I think at this point it's whatever you want it to be. I say dark side. I think the comics say dark side. Or I technically can't say the comics say dark side because it's written out. But I think whenever you watch like a movie or anything, they say dark side.
Yeah, true. Well, what do you want to start with? You want to start with talking about how the state of the DCU is and how it's going to change?
I think let's start with the state of the DCU.
Well, I'm sure it's no surprise what people think my viewpoint is. I think the DCU is in shambles. I don't think it's even there.
It's like where are they going? It's like, okay, yeah, let's get to dark side, but like, what's the journey? How do we get there? How do we get to that point?
Well, I don't even know if that's what they knew they were going for at first.
Well, the thing is, I think the DCU, I think their main problem is that they started late. They should have started after Iron Man came out.
That's what I thought, but they technically didn't start as late as people think they did.
Really?
Green Lantern was actually planned and supposed to be the start of the DCU, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh.
But when it did so bad in people's eyes, which I don't remember the movie being so bad. I remember the suit looking pretty bad.
Because it's a CGI suit.
Point is, it did bad. And that after that, they were like, okay, this did bad, so let's not start here. Let's regroup and think of something different. So instead of just going with it, and continuing and trying to make something congruent, they were like, let's start with Superman. And then they started with Superman, and went into Batman vs. Superman, which at least they were keeping a storyline going, something going with the next. But how are you going to start a universe with Batman, or Superman, my bad. You're going to start with Superman, and like his sort of origin story right there.
Yeah.
And then just instantly in the next one, you have an old Batman just happens to already be there, and he's like, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, why didn't you just give like Ben Affleck his own movie?
They don't, like, when you watch the animations or the comics, everybody knows that like Batman doesn't trust anybody, and there's tension that leads up to Batman and Superman fighting. Just to go straight from Superman to all of a sudden a group up between Batman versus Superman.
And then Wonder Woman shows up.
And it's just jarring, yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, yeah, Wonder Woman shows up. Where's the timeline in this, then?
Yeah, especially because the Wonder Woman movies are before...
Yeah, the first Wonder Woman movie is before Batman and Man of Steel. That's when it takes place, right?
Oh, I thought the first one was in, like, the 60s or something.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when the second one takes place. I think it takes place in modern time.
80s.
Oh, it takes place in the 80s?
Yeah, I think it's 1984, isn't it? Is what this
I have no idea. It's been a while since I watched it.
Oh. Yeah. Well, anyways, it looked like they were trying to get everybody together to go into,
Yeah, they wanted to get Justice League.
But they didn't even take their time to get everybody together. They just went to Justice League. And then people are...
Justice League came out first, then Wonder Woman?
I can't remember between those two, but I swear Aquaman came out after.
I know for a fact Aquaman came out after.
And then Flash just appeared in it.
Yeah. It's just, what order are we going in here?
Yeah, well, like, what are you doing? You don't have to just jump into Justice League because there's already an Avengers out.
Yeah.
People love the DC heroes. Just take your time with them. We want to see...
Yes.
We want to see these villains. We want to see these heroes on the big screen.
Listen, I want to see Darkseid. I do, but you gotta earn that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Imagine if the first Avengers movie was just, oh, yep, here's Thanos.
Yeah, imagine if it went Captain America, then Avengers.
Yeah. Wait a minute, didn't that happen?
Because Captain America was, now I was talking about, pretend there wasn't Iron Mans and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You start with Captain America, who it was in the past, and then he got frozen ice, and then you just jumped straight into Avengers. That's essentially kind of what they did. Oh, yep. No. Actually, it would have been Captain America to Civil War to Avengers. That's essentially what they did.
Honestly, I think Civil War still might be like an Avengers movie and not a Captain America movie.
Yeah. Thing is, I want DC to find their footing, so I want Batman to be a good jump point or something. I just want them to be more congruent, because I
Yeah.
think that you could watch most of their movies and they could have just been
And
standalones.
and when it came to like the movies themselves, I feel like when it came to them, they just didn't get them right either. Like Man of Steel just doesn't feel like a Superman movie to me because it's dark. Like it feels dark for a Superman movie, and that's what
Which
a
I actually
Batman
kinda
movie.
liked. And what was weird is people who play the game, the DC games they had, Infinite War or Infinite Crisis. Do you know the Injustice games?
Oh yeah.
So the story is really cool because it's like an alternative timeline where Lois died and Superman went crazy, so he's the villain.
Oh, I think they just made that into a movie, actually, an animated film.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if you look at Superman and then you look at Batman vs Superman, you see glimpses of the future where it's that Injustice future where Superman's like. So I thought maybe they were getting to that point, and then they just. I'm like, oh, cool. So
Yeah,
you showed
if
all
you-
this for nothing?
If you have you seen like the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League?
I have not yet.
Okay, so I actually thought it was actually pretty good. It wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah. Well, that's the other problem. Just let people do what they want to do with the movie. Just quit getting your hands in it, because I think a lot of the reason why MCU is so good is because the directors and the people who did them, they love the comics and they've been doing it how they envision the comics because they love the comics. And I think DCU, the studio,
Well, some of the
too
comics,
much.
some of the comics that they get are more like they are like. So let's say like you're a director and you get a Batman comic, right? Mm-hmm. You might get a Batman comic, but that might not be like the right representation of Batman, because there are a ton of Batman comics, right? And not and
I'm not
some
saying
of them
follow the comics. I'm saying that these people in MCU
Well, I'm just saying, like,
love comics.
I'm just saying, like,
So they're
hey,
passionate about
let's
it.
get the character right. And what I'm saying is, even if you get a comic, like, a director may not go and, like, be a comic book fan. Like, I like Batman, but I don't go read Batman comics. I go watch Batman the Anime series or Batman Beyond, stuff like that.
This is exactly why you shouldn't be a director of a Batman movie. Because you're not a super fan of Batman, you know what I mean?
Well, that doesn't mean I can't be a director.
But I think it does.
No.
That's a reason why a lot of these movies suck. They're not passionate about the project.
Well, that doesn't mean I'm not passionate about it.
Okay, but let's take the Spider-Man movie you
Okay,
just watched.
let's say the Spider-Man
Those people
movie.
love that Spider-Man movie. That's why Spider-Man has been so good.
Okay, wait. Which Spider-Man movie? Are we
All
talking
three
about all three of No Way of the home series?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about those.
The directors and the people who played, like Tom Holland, they like Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
They were into Spider-Man. Now take the studio head, who probably knows nothing about Spider-Man, doesn't really like Spider-Man, and put him as the director of the movie. You would not have had the same quality movies.
Well, you don't know that, because here's
I
the
do
thing.
know that.
I would take the time to go into the comics, though. Because they take Marvel takes inspiration from not just one comic. I don't know if DC does this, but they dive deep into different comics. And yeah, I may not like read comics and stuff like that, but I would get other people and go, hey, like what are some like good Spider-Man comics? Let's take the original Spider-Man comics and stuff like that. Maybe we could go into those. Maybe we can go into some modern Spider-Man stuff, because there's so much content to go over. So I wouldn't just go, oh yeah, I've watched like Spider-Man the animated
You're
series.
saying that as somebody who's competent and passionate about projects, which is essentially what I'm saying. I'm saying taking somebody who's not, they're just gonna.
No, I'm saying not every comic though is a good representation of the character though, because there are different, like there are different Bruce Waynes, there are different Batmans and stuff like
I'm not talking
that.
about following the comics. That's what I'm telling you.
But you just were.
You're not listening. I'm saying specifically that if you take somebody who's not passionate about the project or who doesn't know about it, you're gonna have a bad project. The reason why a lot of the MCU is good is because those people
But you just
loved
said
those comics.
But you're
They
saying
grew up loving that.
But you're saying I wouldn't be a good director because I didn't read comics.
If you're not passionate about the comics, yeah, you're just gonna do it because it's a job.
Well, no, because I'm passionate about the character itself.
Okay, I can prove it. Transformers. Michael Bay does not really care for Transformers.
Yeah, he doesn't care for Transformers.
And why do they suck? 'Cause
But
he didn't
I
care.
do care for Transformers. That's the difference.
That's what I've been saying.
So are we saying the same thing the whole time? Because you just said something completely different.
No, you did.
No, I've been saying the same thing the whole time.
You've been taking what I said and said something about reading comics. I never said anything about following the comics specifically. The words take the comic and you have to follow the comic specifically never came out of my mouth.
I've been trying to say something about the characters. Like it's about getting our characters
let's start
right.
over. My original point.
All right. Let's reboot. Let's reboot.
That I said to you before you started saying doesn't matter if they read the comics.
No, I did not say that.
My original point was if you take somebody who doesn't care or was not passionate or used to read comics, I didn't say follow the comics, and put them on a project, it's gonna suck.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
And that's what you disagreed and went into your point with.
Yeah, but you said that, like, maybe you're using it as an example or something, but you said, okay, yeah. What I got was, okay, so since you just followed, like, stuff like the animated series, you couldn't make a good, like, Spider-Man movie, for example. And maybe that's where the confusion got in.
I think that is where the confusion,
because that is what you said. So that made me think, oh wait, if I don't follow the comics, that means I can't make a good Spider-Man movie. But I think,
which is why I kept on re-saying, no, I'm saying if you're not passionate, and then for some reason passionate.
But then you said I wasn't passionate. It's like, wait a minute, what are we doing here?
The whole point was,
but basically,
that DCU was, and you were making the example that you were the DCU person.
Well, I was just trying to say, like, but my point, I was trying to make a point, like.
We just had a war about something that's not even the war session.
What I was trying to say is basically what happened. Zack Snyder did get comics, but it was still a bad movie, is what I was saying.
Yeah, well,
but
no,
I was
that's
saying
exactly what we're saying, because Zack Snyder liked the comics. That's why the director's cut is good. That's why people wanted his director's cut.
Yeah.
But the studio heads who don't have anything on their mind except money, they're not fans of the comics.
Yes.
Took the pieces out of the movie because they wanted to make a 2-hour movie that would make them money.
Exactly.
They didn't care about those pieces.
What I was just trying to make a point, like, yes, you can read a comic, but you need a comic that's a good, accurate representation of the character, is what I was saying.
If you're going to follow a comic for the movie.
Yes.
I get that.
Because there are so many different types of Spider-Mans, of Batmans, of Supermans, and stuff like that.
All I was saying is that you need to have people who are passionate about the thing they're doing.
Yes.
And let them have free reins with what they're doing, which DCU doesn't.
You need stuff that's for fans by fans.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
Somebody who gives a shit.
Exactly.
And the executives of DCU don't give a shit. The people who made the movies probably do. But sometimes they don't get the final call. Hence why there's a Zack Snyder cut, because he didn't get the final call of what goes in the movie.
Which does suck. I wish companies would just focus on making a good movie. Because the thing is, when you're just making a movie in general, a big role in it is marketing. If you can market the hell out of it, like, people are gonna come see it.
And I think that's all the studio execs think of. They're like, oh, this has Batman's name on it. Doesn't matter if we take out half the movie and it's poo-poo shit. We're just gonna put it out there, and because it has Batman's name, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, and I think part of a movie being successful is it being good or not. Because companies just look at it like, oh yeah, make money, yeah, let's make another one. But then they're like, oh wait, why didn't this one make as much money? It's because the last one was crap. That's why.
Yeah, and people wanted the Zack Snyder cut, and then the funny thing is they finally got it, and the execs said, none of that's canon though. And I didn't see this Snyder thing, but there's something that happens at the end apparently. I don't know what it is, but they told Snyder not to put that in because they don't want fans to get excited that that's going to be canon.
So wait, basically, the
can't wrap my hand around it.
So the Snyder cut came out, and the executive said, "Oh yeah, it's not canon."
Oh yeah.
Even though basically the same thing happens.
They said he can make that cut, but it's not canon or part of the universe. It's just the cut.
So, wait a minute. So, but isn't the Snyder cut like? Is the Snyder cut like? Is it that different from the original?
I didn't watch it.
Because I didn't watch the original. Is a thing.
But I guess he did rearrange and reshoot some things, so it has to be different. Like I think the Joker from the Suicide Squad.
Oh, you know what?
Appearance.
I know there are like small differences, like reactions to some things and how some things characters react to, which are like minor differences depending on what the reaction is.
Well, I know there's something at the end that sets something up, and they told him specifically not to put that in there because they don't want the fans to think that this is canon and that this is where it's gonna go. But the thing is, they should be going that direction because the fans liked it. They liked the cut. They want to see them more.
I don't understand why executives like make the hard decisions when it comes to these. And maybe some executives are fans. You never know. But like,
yeah, I can't say that they're not fans. They're more fans of money, I think, than
and it's like why are they making these decisions when they shouldn't be making these decisions?
That's why they hire the directors.
They should
let them make the decisions.
Yes, you hire a director so that you have somebody's image of what this movie should be like. You have the writer so that they go like, yep, let's write this thing out. And I don't know if a director's always part of the writing process or not. I know sometimes they are. Sometimes the writer is the director. But you have a writer. They have an image of like, yep, let's do this and this and this. And then you have a director who's like, okay, yep, this makes sense. Let's do this and this and this. And everybody's got like some sort of image of how this movie should be. Let's not ruin the writer and director's image, just so that we can make a couple extra bucks.
Even though it was a miscommunication, can we talk about the fact that finally we actually went to war with each other? We usually always agree. Even though it was a miscommunication, we were agreeing with the same thing. But I hope, man, we talked so much already, and there's still so much more to talk about.
Oh, we're already at an hour.
Yeah, technically
and we haven't even talked about Batman yet.
We haven't even finished talking about the state of the DCU.
I know.
We talked about it now.
But, there's just so much. And there are some good movies in the DCU. I like Shazam.
I was about to say Shazam.
Shazam's good. There should be a Shazam 2. I think... I mean, I wouldn't count Black Adam as Shazam 2, but it is part of that. And we got The Rock playing it. We got Dr. Fate in there. He's gonna be in there, which I think is cool.
You know what the saddest part is? They've made these movies, and I wish they would just stick to something, because they've wasted so much talent.
And the thing is, when it comes to the DCU, there are some movies in there. It's like, okay, yeah, this is part of the DCU, but I can't see a crossover. I'm sorry, I can't see Shazam with Batman or Man of Steel or Wonder Woman. I just can't. It's just such a completely different movie.
Actually, I kind of would love to see that.
I would love to see it too, but I just can't see it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a shame because I hear that they're going to replace a lot of the actors when they shift the universe with these next couple movies. I mean, they replaced Batman, which I think nobody's going to disagree with wanting a different Batman.
I mean, I didn't really like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Ben Affleck, apparently, he didn't even want to play Batman that bad. But anyways, back to the point. If they switch Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie did such a good job that Harley Quinn is iconic to her.
I've never...
Will Smith did a good Deadshot.
I never watched those movies before, but like I did hear like she did do like a really good job as Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I can't even see a different person playing her. And like Wonder Woman, I thought that she fit the role.
At this point, you had her in 3 movies now? Because you had her in Suicide Squad.
I'm not saying they're gonna replace her if she's on the chopping block, but the plan is they're gonna replace some people. So
you had Suicide Squad, and then the Suicide Squad. She was in that, right? And then she basically had her own movie, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
So, like, at this point, you really can't replace her. She is the face of Harley Quinn for the live action.
I didn't even think with the first one they couldn't have replaced her. She was the star of the movie, even though she wasn't supposed to be the star of the movie. But I think Will Smith's Deadshot was also... I think he killed that role, but the Suicide Squad was another one that's supposed to get a Snyder's cut. Everybody wants it, and apparently that's another one where they did it injustice because they cut out a good half of the movie. In fact, that's why people think that Jared Leto is an awful Joker, which I don't think he's the best Joker, but I think it's unfair because you only see him for a total of probably like 4 minutes, and they're calling him the worst Joker ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the thing is, his design is not that great either. He has so many tattoos that are just so obvious. And the thing is, when it comes to the Joker, He doesn't need all that. All that is inside, and he pours that out.
Yeah, but there's many variations. We're just talking about the different kind of comics.
That is true. That is true.
I remember playing a mobile game on the computer, and that's when I first learned that there was variations of characters, and there was a fat Joker.
There's actually like there's like a version of Batman that becomes Joker, basically.
But anyways, like I just don't think that. And then the director said that they cut a lot of his scenes out, like by the executive heads. I'm like, well, if you cut all his scenes out, no wonder he's mad, because you didn't get a chance to see what his Joker was, or what it added to the film, or what it didn't add. But I hope they actually do release that. The Snyder Cut. And I still do want to watch the Justice League.
Yeah, I just hope it's not 4 hours long. Let me tell you, that Snyder Cut, it did not need to be 4 hours long. I still feel like there were some scenes that could have been taken out.
Yeah.
That just didn't need to be in there.
I could agree. I mean, 4 hours is why I haven't watched it yet. I do want to watch it. It's just I haven't decided if I'm going to watch it in like 2 hours and then 2 hours the next night or something.
Yeah, I remember like I read something about how like the Russo brothers wanted to release their own cut version of Endgame. And I was like, that movie's already 3 hours long. How long is the uncut version?
See, though, me personally, when I love something, then I don't mind it being longer if it was a longer version. Like, for example, Lord of the Rings, the extended cuts, I love those movies. I even think they could add more if they wanted to, just because I like them so much. But that's why I think if they do a good job, it can be long. It's just maybe do what Avengers did and break it into 2 movies.
Yeah, I mean, Infinity War and Endgame are basically one movie if you think
like,
about it.
Let's say that the Snyder Cut of Justice League was super good. Like, every scene was necessary and stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, they could have released that to the theaters. They could have just did part 1 and then the following year do part 2.
They could have. I think they have to do it a little bit differently, just because like the way they do it, it does play out as like one big movie.
Yeah.
But they have to like have like some sort of cliffhanger or something maybe. But yeah, they could have definitely done that.
Well, we could keep on talking about how the state of the DCU is
I mean,
forever.
we could.
Let's just end that part of the war session with we both agree that it's in shambles, right?
Yes, it is.
Let's
like no
move on
question.
to part 2 of that war session. Do you think it is going to get better? What do you think the future of DCU?
Okay, so like when it comes to like Black Adam and Flashpoint and Aquaman 2, like I am excited for those movies. I'm excited we're getting a live action Flash movie. I'm excited that we're getting a Black Adam movie with The Rock. I'm excited that we're getting Aquaman 2, even though Aquaman 1 shouldn't be that good,
So
but it is that good.
That you're excited and hopeful that it's going to be good?
I'm excited for it. I'm not hopeful for it. Like just the way that what movies we've gotten so far, some of them have been good. I'm at this point I'm like, hey, I'm not really along for like the ride of like the big stuff you're trying to get into, because I don't think you're trying to do that like the MCU is doing. But hey, if there's like a live action DC movie out, like I'll go watch it. And if I like that movie, great. If I don't, that's sad.
I will actually disagree with you. I think that Batman is finally going to be the turning point of DCU.
You think so?
And I think that for a couple reasons. One, you would have to be plainly an idiot to keep on making bad movies and trying and messing this up with such a huge fan base as DCU, as MSU is messing
DC
up.
in general.
But I'm not going solely on that. I'm also thinking that Batman's going to be the turning point, because as the spoilers coming back in, so tune back out if you don't want to hear this. They said they're going to put the other Batmans in it, and we've seen how well that worked in Spider-Man. And I know they're not copying Spider-Man because they both were getting kind of made at the same time.
Yeah, same production time, basically, just different release dates.
So I think what they're doing is they weren't trying to copy Spider-Man to be get some of the success.
It's kind of like the same thing.
I think they're trying to reset.
Shazam and Captain Marvel basically came out at the same time. Obviously, like, it wasn't planned. They just had like the same production time, basically.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that they're going to reset the universe, and they're just using that as, like a cool way to show that they're going to reset it. Because Spider-Man wasn't a reset. It was just to show happy endings for the other two Spider-Mans and to show something cool. But I think Batman's will be used to, reset it, because this is also going to be Ben Affleck's last one, so I think he's going to die. That's just speculation. But anyways, and they're getting a younger Batman, so I think he's going to be staying. But this is the reason why I think it's going to be a turning point and why they're learning their lesson. One, Batman is awesome. And two, they didn't go with the Joker.
They went with the Riddler.
They went with a different bad guy. So they're not trying to just name drop and hype off of the biggest bad guy.
Yeah.
And try to redo something. They're going to actually make the Riddler the big bad guy. So it's something new. Riddler has been in an older Batman movie, but he wasn't the main villain. He was the side. He was like
side villain.
Side villain with Two-Face. So I think that's going to be good because they're not going to do that. And the second part is, which this part isn't really a solid proof that it's going to be a good movie because they have had good talent for so many other different positions and they had bad movie. But why can't I think of his name right now? The guy.
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Instantly, when I heard that, I'm like, they're going to get the Twilight guy. They're just going to pull out another crappy movie. What's my initial thought? Well, don't judge a book by its cover, because apparently he's been killing it in the indie scenes, and everybody's been saying he's really good at playing different characters, and he's actually a really good actor. So, I'm kind of excited to see what performance he's going to bring to Batman. And I'm excited to see where they're going to go. And they have Flashpoint already scheduled, like Flash movie afterwards. So I think they're actually going to try to keep everything together this time instead of making everything so separate.
I'm not really one to go and base a movie on the trailer. Just because a movie has a bad trailer doesn't mean it's gonna be a bad movie. But just from what I've seen in the trailers, I'm honestly not too excited for it. But if it's good, I hope it's good.
That's why I try not to watch trailers anymore. I want to go into a movie unbiased and uninfluenced. And plus, some trailers show all the best parts in the trailer now. Like when you go to see a comedy, they'll show all the comedy scenes.
They'll show all the funny parts, and I hate it.
I swear one of the Kung Fu Pandas did that when I went to go see it.
It was the third one.
They showed
the
all the
third one
scenes.
showed the funniest scene in the movie, and that's why
obviously we shouldn't get too much into with the time that we have. But last but not least, the last little war session topic, because it's kind of three-parter. We both agree. We think that State of DCU is in shambles. We disagree.
On
the
Batman.
future of it. You said you're excited, but not hopeful. I think it's going to be a turning point, and it's going to not beat Marvel, because Marvel has been crushing it for years. It's going to take some.
They have everything planned out.
But I think they will gain a lot of traction, and I think that the comic wars will be back, where people will be like, "No, DC
which one's
is better?
better?
Marvel is better." And I think that Batman will be a turning point, which will lead into our final part, our last little war session topic. Do you think the Batman movie is going to be good? Obviously, if you heard the last part and what I was saying, I think the Batman movie would be good. I don't think it will be the best Batman, but I will think it will be a damn good movie.
Let me tell you, I rewatched Batman Begins. That's a solid movie.
Yeah, that whole trilogy.
That's a solid 8 out of 10 movie. And I remember it, when I was going into it, I'm like, I don't think this got, I don't know if this got the best reviews. But let's watch it and let's find out. So I watched it. That's a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. But let me tell you, when it comes to this Batman movie.
To interrupt just real quick, why I think those movies were so good and why Batman Begins was so good is because that's the first time in cinema, for superheroes, not maybe all superheroes, but especially Batman, I'm talking about, that they actually did a dark, realistic world. That could actually happen in this world.
Yeah, it was very real.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
I think that's what made it so cool.
And it had,
and the thing is, the DCU did that with all their movies, because the part about, losing yourself and fantasizing the heroes being in this world, making it look realistic instead of separate, That's kind of cool.
And they chose the theme being fear, which I thought was a good theme for the first Batman movie, because that's basically the origin of Batman, really. It's him getting his parents shot, and he's like afraid of like, you know, what's gonna happen to like the rest of Gotham. This is how it is now. It's great. I thought it was a good storyline in general. But overall, for like the new Batman movie, I'm not really too excited for it. I am glad that the Riddler, though, is getting spotlight. Because the Riddler, in my eyes at least, he doesn't really get treated that well in like at least the animated universe. I don't know about the comics. I know like in one animated movie, he actually was the main villain, which I thought was cool. Because usually he doesn't get that spotlight. He's usually treated as like some sort of jokester villain. Yeah. And I think like now that like he's being treated as like a villainous person who's like real and stuff like that, and I think the Riddler himself is like a good villain for Batman, just because Batman's supposed to be super smart and everything. And
I also don't think it's gonna be an origin film, which
you think he's already Batman?
Possibly, because if they're gonna actually do what they say and have more Batmans, it'd be weird to have an origin with other Batman showing up.
I mean, Tom Holland's whole entire trilogy was basically an origin story.
True. Maybe it might be then.
Maybe.
I don't know for sure. So, where do you draw your line then?
I know
you said you're not excited, but do you think it will be good? Because being
I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for it, but I think it'll be okay. That's my thought on it.
All right, so we'll have to talk about our thoughts on that.
All right.
When we come back. So, would you call that a disagree?
I would call that a disagree. Yes.
All right. Well, I guess we end this one with us disagreeing. Once again, I'm going to say that usually this section at the end would go into emails where we answer questions or talk about what you guys want to talk about. And if we have any 5-star reviews on our podcast or any comments on our YouTube video, and they are especially funny, we'd bring them up. Or topical, we'd bring them up. But considering we still don't have any because we're pretty new, we just talked a little more. And I think I'm good. Oh wait, War Session, technically, I think this is the first one we end on a disagreement, right? Because 2 out of the 3 parts.
Yes, it is. I mean, except for like the DCU part of it.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going to have to kill you now. Alright, see you guys next week.
Bye-bye!
Yeah. It's that first day of first grade, that cute girl, your third day, that backpack, that snapback you've had since the 3rd grade. The first time you got laid, the worst time you got played. It hurt, but you're okay, you learn from your mistakes. Your friends back in high school, we thought we were so cool. We'd steal Jack, my dad's stash, and drink the whole night through. The first time you first moved, that's new job, a new rules, new student, made new friends, a new